Hi, I'm Josh,
And I'm Jimmy.
and today we're going to be reviewing The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, Last of Us was pretty good, but there was a lot of elements where I didn't like it.
But before we even go into the logistics of it all and what made it so good, I wanted to ask Jimmy here, what did you think about it, man?
Well, there was parts of this game that really took a turn for the worse. Story structure, ideas that were flown everywhere, and, well, the drama behind Naughty Dog. That's really what kind of underwhelmed this whole game. And I was expecting more from this game, really. I had hopes for it. It's been so many years, and I wanted to see what Joel was up to.
Yeah?
And then... Joel is over. Spoilers! Well, yes, Joel just completely cuts it from the game, but, and Josh will probably agree with me, is that, well, I appreciated the flashbacks. I really did. If it weren't for the flashbacks, it probably wouldn't have been as great.
Mm-hmm.
But, well, I don't like it as much as you do. There are a lot of things that I didn't like. I don't like Abby at all. What was the point of her being there? What was the even point of her even absolutely being around? Like, why? Why are you gonna put a character in there in the middle of it and drop it all off just for you to fucking get the protagonist?
You see, the thing about Last of Us Part 2 is it took a turn into a different direction. And I think the new direction is basically what nobody really liked in the first place, because, compared to Last Jedi.
Well,
I'm gonna bring up Last Jedi.
Uh-huh.
Because anytime I get a chance to bring up Last Jedi, I'm gonna bring him up. I'm gonna bring the movie up, And just like The Last Jedi, it took a new direction, and that's what The Last of Us Part 2 did. It had a whole new structure, a whole new set of characters that we are trying so hard to care about, and that's what really dumbs down the game. Now, as for the mechanics and the gameplay, everything suits out fine. I do enjoy that this time around, when you do play as Ellie, you don't have to go through the whole creating shivs and doing all this extra stuff when you already have it now in the second game, completely, for your ability to use in inventory. Now, I want to say this, is that, well, The Last of Us 2, even though it had a weird structure, it was risky to even have something like that. And I really think that puts a new perspective on things. It might it might actually break fans, which it actually did, but other times it makes a lot of things better. It took the risky part, it subverted expectations, and where we actually loathe a villain, we actually get to feel for her, and I'm talking about Abby. And besides that, not even Abby's a villain, because in this world, nobody really is. Everyone's just trying to survive. That's right. You see, I didn't like the Abby part. I really didn't. I thought it was stupid. I thought it didn't need to be there. But, overall, it tends to really tractor like this sort of hate you have for her, and then you start to feel things for her, so which I do like. Exactly. And liking someone and having that kind of emotion for a game means that it actually did its part. It took its time, and it did what it had to do. Right. So in that aspect, I would say that they did the best they could. There's points in the game that I loved, and there's other points in this game that I was okay about, and some that it got really tedious, and that I didn't like overall. But overall, I thought it was good.
Everything looked beautiful cinematically, like you said. Yeah. But other than that, the structure really put a damper on a lot of things. Like, well, there was moments where we went into flashback mode after being in another flashback. Like, what? Who's gonna do that? Why are you gonna do that? There was times where I just wanted to quit, where I just wanted to throw my damn controller down because, well, I got tired of the game.
There was a lot of points when I was playing Abby's story, where it got tedious. I literally wanted to drop the controller and say, I'm done with this game because I've already kind of been through this already. And I'm only gonna do it all over again with Abby. Like, it wasn't fun at all. There were certain points, let me retract that. There were certain points within this game as Abby that were incredibly fun, especially that island part of the game in the third act was so good. But a lot of it just had to do with the timing and everything. And I really wish that wasn't the reason, because honestly, if we would have played all as Abby and maybe some of Ellie before Joel died, if we had played all of Abby's flashbacks in chronological order instead of them being flashbacks in this game, and then have Joel killed off at the end of this part 2, only for the third game to be all about Ellie's vengeance, then I really think that it would have worked. I really honestly think that this game franchise would have completely blown everything out of the water. And I love the first one. I love the first one so much. And with the second one, I still felt for things. I still screamed at the TV. I still cried. I still felt so much emotion. And I think the bottom line is, and I'm going to tell you, Jim, the bottom line is that if you feel something, if you react something to a movie, to a game, to a book, and you react in a very emotional way, then it is doing its part. And I really think that The Last of Us 2 did that part for me and a lot of other people. You know, there are some people out there that are boycotting the whole game, but essentially grow up, because it is a game, and yes, we did develop with these characters.
I loved Ellie's journey, but as for Abby's really put a whole ding-a-ling on that, you know? I mean, there was moments in there that I was appreciative of Abby, like you said. And I think I'm with those other guys. I really think that having Abby in it at all is really something that sucks. And I want to note that as for the people sending death threats to Laura Bailey and Neil Druckmann, come on guys, grow up. And this is a damn puppet telling you that. To grow up, because, well, it's not cool at all. You know, that's the real problem with the world these days, is these people, these characters don't belong to you. I mean, they are a product of someone's mind, and they are just there for you to invest in emotionally. But when you invest it in a very, very toxic way like this, sending death threats, it starts to really be really bad.
I wouldn't give this game a 10 out of 10. I wouldn't give this game a 9 out of 10. But I wouldn't give this game lower than a 5. Or even as a 6. I'm giving it, and honestly, a 7.5. Because it had a lot of stuff going on within that game that I really enjoyed, that I really loved playing through. Everything was beautiful. The mechanics worked way better than the first one. Everything was great within cinematics. You know, everything looked beautiful environmental-wise. You know, and we still had our characters. And though I'm going to say this, if it wasn't for Joel's flashbacks and character redemption, you know, of him revealing to Ellie that, you know, he did wrong, if it wasn't for those scenes, I think this game would have been complete trash. But they did give Joel some time within those flashbacks, and that's what I loved. If Joel would have died, and there would have been nothing else for him, not even in flashbacks, then this game would have been complete trash. But it didn't. Yeah, they actually took time to give Joel some aspect within the flashbacks, and I think that's really cool. And I'm not a game guy. I'm not a guy that's all about video games. I'm more casual, but I do love the Last of Us franchise because of how movie it feels, if you know what I mean. and I do play games from time to time, but I'm more of a movie guy. This is more of a movie channel. But I did enjoy Last of Us 2, and if you haven't played it, then check it out. Also, if you haven't played it, why are you still here in the spoiler section? Because I don't know. But yeah, like, go out and play it. I personally am not going to play it again. It felt tedious. It felt tedious to me, and that's not what a game should be. It felt like I was holding my breath the entire time. So with that being said, thank you. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jimmy.
And you're watching the Higher Volume. Please like and subscribe. And if you haven't already, please do so. Ring that notification bell, and I'll see you next time.